measuring success in a business that we start as a hobby in retirement or maybe before retirement is something a little bit different than measuring success throughout our career in business. So let's take a look at some of the things that we use to measure success in a hobby business. It can be a little bit different. And are you operating any kind of a hobby business, whether it's just basically doing something, whether you offer a service or a product? Are you self-employed? Do you run a business per se, or are you just doing things on the side for money? That is a business, whether you want to admit it or not. I'd like to hear a little bit about the challenges that you're going through and what you're doing in retirement. Well, so a lot of retirees turn things that they enjoy doing into a business. Well, one of the reasons that we do that is we've spent years, maybe decades, like me, my entire life, working and learning my hobby. So I do have a skill set in that. And so now I finally have the time to look at turning this hobby into something that I do for money. But how I do that would have been different if I had chosen to do it as my career choice, which I did not. Now, so let's talk about the financial aspect of measuring success in a hobby business. You have profitability. Is it profitable? Are you meeting some income goals? Is your income goal something $500, $1,000, couple $1,000, or even making more money than what you were making in your career before you retired? That depends. That depends on where you are in your hobby business, how you look at it. For some people, profitability isn't really the goal, but that is one way to measure success. Expense management is very important in a hobby business. If you're not making enough to pay the expenses and you're operating as a loss, is it really a business or is it more just a hobby? And that's something that tax professionals and your tax preparation software may ask you. Is it really a business or is it a hobby? So I do offer a free PDF called Turn a Small Savings into a Joyful and Worthwhile Retirement. You can see that, see how to get that free PDF in the description below. So help yourself to that. Now, then there's personal fulfillment and enjoyment. Suppose you're not making much or very little income. Maybe you're just making enough to cover your expenses in this hobby business. Well, that's okay. Are you having what you need personally from it? For example, do you enjoy doing it? And if the answer is yes, then that is extremely important. Do you look forward to working on this business? Is there good work-life balance for you? Do you have some skills that you're developing? Often, as we go forward in our hobby businesses, we do develop more skills. We do develop more efficiency. We do develop quite a bit more than we expect when we begin these hobby businesses. Now, one of the things that measures success in my mind's eye is customer satisfaction. If my customers are satisfied, that's important to me. If they're not satisfied, then why am I going to continue doing it? Or why wouldn't I work to do it better. That's extremely important, especially if you're looking at growing the business or improving the possibility of income and growing that income from your hobby business. There's community engagement. Are you engaging in your community because of it? Are you building a network? Are you making new friends, new connections? And, one of the things that I find helpful to a lot of people is just being recognized for their expertise. If you've been developing a skill set or developing this hobby or this knowledge over a long period of time, you could become somewhat of an expert, someone with a lot to share and give. And you should be recognized for that, even if you've just started this hobby business. That doesn't mean that you don't deserve a lot of recognition. Your recognition could come in a lot of different ways. It could come from word of mouth, from people saying, hey, look at this person and what they're able to do. It could come in the form of awards that you're winning and just all kinds of ways that you could be recognized. So that is a measure of success in a hobby business. Now, one of the things that can determine whether or not your hobby turned business in retirement is successful is how you're managing your time resources. Is the time commitment that you're using on this hobby fulfilling to you or overwhelming to you? You don't want to be overburdened and you don't want to sacrifice the things that you want to do in retirement. It's one thing to spend time doing something that you enjoy, but it's quite another to sacrifice the other things that bring you joy. If you want to spend time with friends and family, socializing, not talking about your hobby or not engaging in your hobby business, then do you have the time to do that? Managing your hobby business efficiently is one measure of success. Then there's the personal goals and values that this hobby business can give you. Does it align with your values? Is it something that you feel is promoting something positive in your community, whether that community is online or in person? And what kind of legacy are you leaving? For me, my children are not interested in my hobby, so that's okay. It's okay that they're interested in other things, but I'd like to share what I've learned over the last several decades with somebody. That's part of my legacy. I'd like to be highly personal in sharing that information and going forward, and it's valuable. It's valuable to teach a craft. It's valuable to share knowledge, even if that knowledge is very specific and particular and not worth teaching a college course on. Maybe that knowledge is not worthy of an entire book. Maybe it's just tidbits here and there that make something better or improve the outcome of something. We still want to teach and share, or many of us do, and that's one way to measure the success of a hobby business if you're able to achieve those types of goals. It's not always about money and success that way, whether your business your hobby business in retirement is successful. Ultimately, the success of a hobby business in retirement is a highly personal measure, one that you determine, one that you continue to determine. And it's a way for you to reflect and decide, are you happy going forward? Is this something you want to continue doing? Remember, if you start a hobby business and it is successful, it's not an obligation that you continue to do it. Once you've decided you have reached the goal that you wanted to reach with it, you're not obligated to continue working on a hobby business. Even if it's highly successful, if you choose that you have reached the point of success that you desire and you no longer wish to continue. Deciding when to start, when to keep going, and when to stop is very personal, especially in retirement. We've gone through all these years learning, piecing everything together, making our careers work, making our families into what they are. And here we're not obligated to decide based on other people's factors whether something is a success or not. We make those decisions if our hobby business is a success. So thanks for stopping by. My name is Jerry with Plan G for Me, and this channel is about making retirement work for you. Thanks so much.